Guys, we're at Lowe's.
What?
Looking for my panels.
What? I need a flat.
Oh, wow. How's it going? So you saw earlier in the video where my husband was installing the fence. We'll take a quick look at the fence. It is not done. He actually got called in, so he had to go to work. It's about 6:30. He started the project at about 12:30ish, almost 1 o'clock. And so it's not even a full weekend project, you guys. It's literally like a half a day or maybe a day's project, depending on your lot size. I will say that again, depending on your lot size. Now, I did talk to him before he left. He told me it was really not that bad. The toughest part was getting down in some of our clay soil. We have really thick clay soil, and I guess it was kind of hard pan in certain areas, like really dense. And also, y'all, I swear, I think part of our neighborhood is built on a rock quarry. We have some massive boulders that just kind of come up out of the ground, and they're situated in our landscape. And I don't try to move them because they're as big as my AC unit. Some of them are, and they just go down into the ground. So he said unearthing some of those larger rocks were an issue for him. But other than that, he said it was relatively simple. So as we walk around, I'll show you some of the panels. There's an area, he was like, I don't know if maybe I got distracted or what, but he was like, there's a definite bow in some of these where I just kind of took off in a different direction than what I started. So he's going to come out tomorrow. He has the day off, and he's just going to come out and just rework some of those little areas, just like little finishing touch-up areas. We're actually going to shift this whole gate panel, all these panels over. So we're going to start from our neighbor's fence here because we kind of had to go diagonal with the panel there a little bit. And we don't want that. We just want it straight across. So we're going to shift it over towards the houseways, but we're going to start here and then work our way that way. He was like, I'm tired, you know, so he really wasn't thinking about it in advance. But it looks really good. Now, my only gripe, and I think probably his too, are the gate panels. They look kind of, I don't know, dinky. Or not dinky, they just don't look really beefy or substantial compared to the rest of the fence, and I feel like they should stand out a little bit more than what they do. The fence itself is beautiful. It's it looks much better than I thought that it would look, to be quite honest with you. It kind of blends with our neighbor's fence a little bit, so that's always nice. But he said that'll be another project we can do at a different time, is just coming in and replacing all the fence, or excuse me, the gate pieces with some more substantial pieces, and just reworking the two poles that hold them and figuring out a way to hold the two panels that don't, or the gates that don't really belong with the panel set. So let's take a look. My rose is blooming. So there are no more aphids or soft fly larvae on the now, but this is what they're looking like. So this is my Bathsheba. Now that the fence is up, I am going to be relocating this shrub so that she will get a lot more sunlight and hopefully proper care. I take really good care of her, you guys. It's just, for whatever reason this year, I just didn't spray her enough. But once the blooms are done, which they almost are, and we'll be getting a ton of rain, I'm going to come in and cut it all the way down to the ground and just let her flush back up afresh. And this fall, I will be relocating her to her forever home. Well, I say forever home. We'll see. Everything looks really fresh. So you guys may remember this portion of the garden. It's coming down the hill where we did our quote unquote retaining wall. So this is where the first gate panel exists, or fence panels rather. And like I said, they go in the ground, or maybe I didn't say this prior, because you can see where one is right now. He's kind of got this up just to keep the deer out. And like I said, he will come in and finesse this stuff tomorrow, but they go in with stakes, and then you just connect all the panels with these poles right here. And that's pretty much it. And he went the entire span of the garden space. Now, right over there on that side is where things got a little froggy, and you can kind of, I'll take you over there, but you can kind of see the stake sticking up out of the ground from here, right there, there, and there. He's like, don't ask me how I went up, but I should have went back. And so, yeah, so he just kind of left those there so he could come back and fix them tomorrow. But yeah, it was, like I said, he said it was a super simple process, and it went relatively well. So I'm excited. So this is how everything is looking. This is on this side. See if I can zoom in a little bit. He did a really phenomenal job. You know, we were laughing when he was picking up the panels last week, when we went out last weekend to get the panels. And we were talking about how he's always down for my shenanigans and I call them harebrained schemes, but honestly, they're really good ideas, y'all. And he never tells me no to things. And I don't know. I just have to applaud him because he really is. He's really made for me. We kind of balance each other out very well, but he did a really amazing job. Really amazing job. And there's one gate piece here, and we have 3 gate pieces, and then there's another right there. All right, you guys. So that's the gate. I can't wait to get out here and start dreaming up of new garden beds and stuff out here. That'll probably be something I stay up late doing tonight, honestly. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to actually have a good night's rest because, believe it or not, I really lose sleep over the fact that the deer are going to come out here and munch all my stuff down to the ground. It's a true story. It bothers me. I don't really rest good at night as it is, and so sometimes that really does keep me up. I come and peek out the window periodically in the middle of the night, y'all, to make sure my hostas, I still see the brightness of my hostas under the moonlight. Not even lying. So this will be nice, and I thank him so much for doing this for me. So I really do, from the bottom of my heart. So that being said, we are going to plant some things, not out back actually. We're going to plant some things out front, some purple slash blue bloom perennials. And I'm really excited about it. It's nothing new, but it's things that I really enjoy. So let me go show you guys. All right, so here's my teeny tiny plant stash underneath the porch. We do have plans to redo this as well. My husband just came out here, cleared it all out and tarped it off, and this is where my overflow of items and plants are. So there's some of my stone from the stacked wall out there, and then my perennials, you guys. So you remember in a previous video, might have been a garden tour, may have been another video prior to that, I can't quite remember, where I said that I wanted more of my verbena ice. Well, there she is. So I'm going to take all these things out so you can see them a little bit better, and then we'll talk stats. You guys can hear me pretty decently. I don't, once again, have on a mic, but I'll try to talk as loud as I can. My neighbor is out here. Somebody's out here doing a little bit of yard work up the street, so hopefully they're not too loud. Right here, you guys may remember this from my garden tour when I spoke on this plant. This is a agapanthus. This is part of the Southern Living plant collection, and it is beautiful. So this is called Ever Sapphire, and it likes part sun. So where I'm going to plant it is where the rest of them are, underneath the canopy of that really tall holly bush that we limbed up. I think it'll be a beautiful addition. I already had 3 there. One of them died back this past winter. I did mention that, and I wanted to replace it. Now, when I planted the 3, I had the varieties of Ever Sapphire, and I grabbed one that was mislabeled, and it ended up being a amethyst, which is a light lavender purple. I'm not sure which one of those died back. I'm hoping it's the amethyst, because I would love to have a triage of the Ever Sapphire. So this does, like I said, like part sun. It gets to be about 12 to 16 inches high. That's just the foliage or the leaf canopy. With the bloom stalks, it can get much larger because the bloom stalks themselves, I want to say the stems are, yeah, about 20 to 24 inches tall. With you'll have to take that into account as well with the stalks of the plants, but they're absolutely gorgeous. Now they do grow kind of on the slower side of things. I've had a couple planted for a couple of years now, and they still look to be just like this. So I'm hoping this is their 3rd year that they kind of leap. You know how they say first year they sleep, 2nd year they creep? No, first year they creep, 2nd year they sleep, 3rd year they leap. So I'm hoping this is a leap year for them. No pun intended. They don't need pruning. These tended to stay semi-evergreen for me. A little bit of the foliage died back, but not a whole lot. I don't know. It's kind of a freak incident. And honestly, the previous season is when I noticed that the other one had died back. So last year I honestly only had, I think, 2 of these. And they are hardy zones 8 through 11. So there you go. I will put some biotone starter fertilizer in the hole, but after that, they're pretty much on their own. I'm not going to fertilize them too much further past that. These, I don't know, they look like little snake heads to me. There's one that's in bloom, and when I show you the bloom, you'll probably automatically know what it is. And then maybe you won't. I don't know. This is Millennium garlic. So it's an allium, and I love alliums so much. I actually have serendipity allium planted in our garden space as well. These are one of my favorite blooming perennials. They don't take a whole lot of maintenance, honestly, and they're pretty tough little plants. They do like a good bit of sunlight, 6+ hours of direct sunlight. Now this is part of the Monrovia collection, you guys. Once established, they don't like a whole lot of watering, but Until then, obviously, freshly planted things do need a good bit of water. At mature size, they can get to be anywhere between 15 to 20 inches tall and about 10 to 15 inches wide. And they do bloom in summer. Obviously, these are a little bit further along, but we are entering into these summer months. And I noticed that my serendipity alliums are blooming as well, and I will show you guys those later. Hardiness down to -10 degrees, you guys. So they're incredibly winter hardy little plants. My next stash is, I think that's 15. It should be 15 of these. You guys may remember these also from my garden tour video and any other video because I've mentioned them in quite a few videos, you guys. These are the verbena that I was talking about, the violet ice. And let me grab a tag and tell you guys the stats because this is a incredible little plant. It looks so tiny right now, you guys, but this plant packs a lot of punch. This is what it looks like, and I'll also show it to you in the landscape. It does like full to part sun. It gets to be about 6 to 12 inches tall, and their spread is spacing about 10 to 14 inches apart. So, but you can plant these in containers. You can plant them in the landscape. I have mine in the landscape, and they are gorgeous. I thought I only had like 1 or 2 in there, but I think it's maybe like 3 or 4 planted together in a cluster. And they are hardy zones 8A to 11B. So there was a viewer, sorry you guys, there was a viewer, something's biting in my leg. There's a viewer who I had mentioned that these stayed evergreen for me year round. So she did a little bit of research. I love you guys. If she didn't, I would have. But since we are now a zone 8A, these are pretty, oh my God. He does it. I swear he does it to me every time. My neighbor, every time I come out here and film a video, without fail, anytime I'm in my yard, period, they come outside and they run the lawnmower or the weed eater. I don't get it. Anyway, I will try to talk loud, but these plants, they didn't die back for me. They stayed evergreen. So I found out that they are hardy zones 8 through 11. So I am planting these in hopes that I will not have to plant anything ever again in those spots, and that these will continue to perennialize for me and give me the color that they were given earlier. So let me take you around the garden space, show you all the plants that I have already similar to these, and then we'll get these in the ground. All right, here is plant number 1. This is the Serendipity Allium by Proven Winners, and you can see it's already in full-fledged bloom too. And it's quite stunning. I love their little blooms, and even when they're dried, they still they're pretty to me. But their foliage, they are like an ornamental onion or garlic, so they do belong to that family. But they're really, really, I think they're pretty tough little plants, but they're just beautiful. I love them. So right here, they're underplanted. There is my lemonade or strawberry lemonade baptisia. Y'all, I always get the name of this plant wrong, but it's one of those two. And then my hibiscus that the wind beat down. I am going to stake that up. And then right over here beside it, that are in bloom right now, is my what is that thing called? Midnight Masquerade penstemon. So it's just really pretty right here in the forefront, and behind it, it was beautiful at one point, but the rain has since beat the leaves all the way down on that, or the petals, but that's my Atlas rose. So there is the Serendipity Allium. Let me take you around to where the agapanthus is and where the verbena is. All right, you guys, the lawnmower noise was so loud that I have to do a voiceover to this part. But here is where the violet ice verbena is. Hopefully you can see it pretty good. I know the sun is really bright, but I want to scatter some more, probably about 5 or 6, maybe more than that, run along in this area. I'm not sure that I will get to it in this video. Actually, I did not get to it in this video, but if you can see, we're going to hop right over the walkway here. And then I had about 10 or 11 of the verbena violet ice that I'm going to plant along in there. All right, so this is where the agapanthus is going to be, you guys. There's one there, and it's already got buds on it. I see them. It's all loaded. I actually could probably split that plant into 2, but I'm not. And then I will find a home for the allium. It's going to go right along in here too, but I forgot that I have these asters here. We'll figure it out. I got to chatting with my neighbor. Her mom's visiting from overseas, and I really love them. And I just wanted to chit chat with her for a little bit. They're super sweet people. So I'm about to lose daylight, so I'm going to put this in really super quick, zippy fast mode, and then I'll show you guys everything after the fact. And I'm not sure why I didn't pull these because I pulled the rest of the pansies up. So I'll probably do that as well. Well, I'm going to do that as well. So here we go. All right, you guys, I want to show you where the plants landed before we lose sunlight. So this is where I planted the verbena. I think I did 10 right here. I may order some more, but you can see those little spots, but eventually they will look like the verbena that's over here. I did not get the 5 planted. I'll probably do that in the morning because I just don't want to be out here losing light too much and I have to clean up. But that is what they will look like once they are in full bloom and nice and spread. Like I said, I think this is about 4 plants. I'm pretty sure it is. And they're just a continual bloomer. You will want to come in here because I will treat them like an annual and give them a water soluble fertilizer probably about once a week. But I did put some plant tone down in their holes, and so that should help give their roots and a good healthy start. I didn't feel like going in and getting my biotone, and it's also a fertilizer for them, so they should shoot up in no time. Let's go down to that end and we'll look at the alliums. All right, you guys, here are the alliums I have. So right here, here, and there are some asters, and then right along the front here is where I planted the millennium alliums, and then there's one I plopped right over there, and then I put the other one, the agapanthus, right back here. So there's a triage there. I may get one more to put right here in this little empty spot. I think that would be really pretty. So this whole corner, back up, this whole corner would be a nice little chunk of really pretty wispy foliage and then purple blooms coming up. I think that'll be pretty. And then mixed in with the Gara, I think that'll be a really sweet fix. So that is it, you guys. I want to wrap up because you can see the sun is starting to set, and I want to walk around the backyard and show my mom our new fence. So I just want to thank you all again for tuning in, stopping by, hanging out with me. I want to give another shout out to all of the new subscribers out there. I appreciate you guys so much. You are all a blessing to me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.